New Year, everybody. It is New Year's Eve 2025, and I'm glad to be back. I've been missing doing some podcast here with all of you lately, so thanks for joining me. I appreciate you being here. I absolutely love being able to share this information with you today. And today is going to be a little in your face, and I'm sorry about that. But I think it needs to happen because we're going into a new year and we just have to stop the madness. So welcome aboard. Today's episode is called We Bought a Boat. And you're thinking, I know, what does that have to do with being in your face here? Well, we'll get to that shortly here. So I'm your host, Bonadeo. Thank you. Speaker, coach, author, podcaster. Those are the things that I love to do. And how I tie all that in together is leadership training, leadership certifications, coaching trainings, coaching certifications, communication, speaking, branding. Those are my expert areas in there. And of course, you guys know that I work in Intrigue Salon with my husband, and so a lot of the information that I share with you is because I'm putting it into action with our salon as well. So, and as you know, this entire program is based on the 5 anchors of success. And when we go through those anchors of success, I want you to remember that this is a strategic process to success. It starts with sales, it goes to operations, education, marketing, mindset. Okay, now it doesn't always have to necessarily go in that order, but it always starts with sales. And I'm always going to say that operations should be second because you need to have systems in place in order for marketing or education or even mindset to have a place in there. Okay, so what does this have to do with buying a boat based on my title here? Well, do you know how to drive a boat? Do you know how to stop a boat? Do you know how to sail a boat? Do you know how to navigate a boat? Do you understand the expenses of a boat? Do you know how to fix a boat? Do you know how to survive on a boat? And if it's a no to the majority of those, then I want you to think about your business, what you do know and what you don't know, and where you're stuck and what's keeping you stuck. So the whole point is we did buy a boat. We bought it in 24, but we got to spend time on it in 25. We took our longest journeys. We stayed longer. We did more days on the boat than we did at 24. We made some upgrades to it. And I gotta tell you guys, there wasn't much that I knew about a sailboat. Okay, this is what I knew. I knew how to be a passenger on a boat. I knew how to swim off of a boat. I knew how to snorkel off of a boat, scuba off of a boat, float off of a boat, party on a boat, and maybe occasionally get seasick on a boat. That's what I knew how to do, okay? I didn't know how to do any of these other things. And listen, I'm still a work in progress. So if we go back here, I'm just only learning how to actually drive the boat and stop the boat. I feel like I'm over the edge of learning how to sail the boat. I'm getting better at navigating the boat. Thank God for technology to be able to do that, because I would never be able to do the math if I was a sailor back in the day. Understanding the expenses of a boat, they say that whatever the cost is, 10% of it is in expenses. So if you bought $1 million boat, you're looking at $100,000 in expenses each year. I think it's probably more than that in the reality. Fix a boat, I am learning to be very mechanical, and partly because a boat has, you're in a very small space, so there's some spaces that I fit into, and so I have to get into there versus Jeff. And to survive on a boat, I hope that that's not anything I have to accomplish. But if I had to, you'd figure it out. And I have a whole lot more knowledge this year than last year. Now, again, what does this have to do with your business? Well, I want you to think about your boat is your business, okay? Just because you know the industry or you maybe work in the industry doesn't mean that you know the business of, say, owning a boat or the business of owning your business. Most of us, and it's 90% females, most of us came from being a licensed person. We were good at our job as a technical or a technician, and then we thought we were going to open up a salon, okay? And There are still a lot of people that have done this successfully. But if you've done it in the last 10 years, I imagine there's a level of struggle that you're still going with because everything's changed, business change. And what we need to know, what matters right now is the knowledge to be able to drive, okay, that would be lead, navigate, operations and systems and sales that you have to have in place, and then to be able to enjoy it, enjoy the success of it, okay? Because nobody's buying a boat to fix it or be seasick on it, or stop it or have it, parked in a sense in your slip or anchored somewhere. It's the enjoyment is when it's all working and you get to really enjoy the moment of being on the boat. That's what I want for your business. I want you to be in your business and working on your business and enjoying that moment of all things in place. Now, I just saw this come across the wire today, according to Mevo's end of the year stat, and it was a loose stat. It was, it's based on, of course, a lot of their accounts. Salon business was flat to slightly down. So if your business was flat or slightly down, or maybe you were slightly over because you did a price increase this past year, you're in the same boat. Okay, do not worry, do not panic. We're all in the same boat. Now, for whatever reason that this is happening, we have to be more strategic, more targeted, more on top of the things that are actually going to move the needle than ever before. We cannot be throwing freaking spaghetti up against the wall and hoping something sticks. We cannot be trying to do 10 things at once. It's 1 or 2, maybe 3 things per quarter. And one of those is probably going to be it's going to last. So in other words, it's going to maintain its identity throughout the entire year, which means you still have to invest time and energy and money and resources into it, right? But why do you think that's the case, that the salon business was flat or slightly down? Why do you think that's the case? Because we could say, is business different than it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Yeah, certainly. Is it harder? Yeah, we could say that it's harder too. But there's a yes and no to both of those answers right there, because we've had some big wins in our industry as well. One of them is tech, but only if you're using it. Okay, so if you are not utilizing technology, at this point we've got some voice bots coming out. We have text bots that are already out. We've got online booking. We have, digital dispensing machines. There's a lot of technology out there that we can utilize as small businesses. AI. If you are not savvy on AI, you got to get savvy on that. And I'm happy to help you with that. If you're not using tech, you're missing out, okay? And the other thing that happened this year was the tip tax credit, which is huge for our industry, huge for salon owners, and huge for all of our service providers as well. And if you don't have the details on that, do not wait until you go have your taxes done and expect your tax person to be able to provide you what you need. You got to know what you're going into right now and make sure that you understand how it works for you as an owner and for your team, and then manage that process with your tax accountant or your CPA. Now, April McDonald from Copsa Odi CPA Services, we just did a webinar last month, this month, because it's still December. I'm happy to provide that link for you. You can pop me an email, Bonnie at bonniebonadeo.com, and tell me you want the link to that podcast or that webinar. I'll get it to you. She's very informative in regards to the tip tax credit. So you got to know what's going on here. But here's the thing, the struggles that you guys are still facing that I hear every day when I'm working with salons and out educating, which I did a lot of in 2025. Here's your struggles: leading, hiring, and selling. And guess what? All 3 of these struggles right here, they involve people. So leading people, hiring people, selling to people. Those are the areas we're struggling with. And yet we say we're a people-oriented business. We say we're not in the hair business. We're in the people business doing hair. Okay, just like Howard Schultz said, we're not from Starbucks. He says we're not in the coffee business serving people. We're in the people business serving coffee. Okay, you hear the distinction in that. So our greatest struggles are people struggles. And I know each and every one of you are like, I'd love just doing the business if I didn't have to deal with my staff, or I didn't have to deal with the people. Well, that's not ever going to be a possibility. If you want to grow as a salon, you have to have a team. If you want to grow as a salon, you have to have clients. Those are all people. So if you are not getting up to speed, new information, updated information, current information on leading, hiring, and selling, you're already behind the curve. And I don't want you to do that. Of course, I know I can help. Okay, so what if you had to walk out or you had fear losing people? What if you need new clients? You need updated leadership skills. And I'm going to say yes, because 80% of you think you're better than average leader. And I got to tell you right now, you're not. Okay? You're not better than average, because I see those salon forums all the time where people are communicating ineffectively with team, with clients. Okay? We've got to get better at this. What if you need new staff? What if you need proven strategies that are easy to learn and easy to implement? Easy to implement. What if you need ways to increase revenue and decrease expenses? If you had access to all of this, wouldn't you say yes to that opportunity? You would. You would say yes to that opportunity right there. So don't wait another year. Don't wait another month. Don't wait another day. And we have, because you have to be responsible for taking the action here. And you got to stop blaming the industry. And you got to stop blaming the stylist or the providers. They're lazy. The industry is outdated. The schools don't teach relevant information. Okay? And some of this may be true. Okay, I'm not saying it's not true. What you have to stop blaming and pointing the finger here. The costs are too high. 2020 ruined everything. Generations, the younger generation doesn't want to work. There's no work ethic with my team anymore. The clients are too demanding. Okay, if you're blaming any one of these, and there's probably a dozen more that I didn't add on here, stop. Stop right now. I want you to make a commitment right now, December 31st, 2025, that you're going to stop blaming any of these reasons why you're not growing or you're not profitable. All right? Because here's the deal. You got to look at the reflection. It's you. It's only you. As a leader and an owner, you are responsible for growing your business. Nobody else is to blame why you're not growing. Okay? Now, the industry may be flat, or we might be slightly down at this point. So that seems to be a trend that's happening right now. But you have the power to be able to shift that trend. Personally, you and your business, okay? It's your boat. You got to learn it and you got to love it, all right? Your business is your boat. You got to learn it. You got to love it. I am never more excited than when we're actually going to be on the boat, because for me, it's adventure. For me, it's learning something new. For me, it's putting new skills that I've learned to use. Okay, that's exciting for me. I love the idea of this. I think my 2026 word is going to be adventure in there. Yeah. So if we know it's you as a leader that needs to up-level yourself in order to up-level your team and up-level your business, then you're going to need to invest in yourself this year. And I've got some opportunities for you to invest in. One of them being the SOS Leadership Academy, the Ultimate Leaders Certification course. Not only do I teach you to be a better leader, a better communicator, and how to coach your employees, you get certified in all of those areas as well. Now, this is a monthly program. It starts every month. It's not a defined day in the month. You can start any time in a month, but I launch it monthly. So it would be, at the end of the month, you're going to start type of thing. If you're interested in an invitation and you want to find out more about it, then you're going to go to sosleadershipcourse.com and you're going to set up a complimentary time with me. And I'm going to fill you in on how this is going to make an impact on your business. Because I believe that leadership is kind of like the overarching thing you have to be best at in order to grow your business. You do not have to be best at marketing. You do not have to be the best at operations or systems or inventory or doing hair, okay? You have to be the best at being a leader. People are counting on you to do that, all right? So you want to become the leader who builds a business that thrives and helps people to rise. That's ultimately what you want to do. I know. It's everything that we're trying to accomplish here. Yeah. Here's 2 more solutions for you, okay? That one is an invitation. You'll need to chat with me so we can discuss it. It is a commitment that you need to make for yourself. But I'm going to say that you should invest in yourself no matter what going into 2026. But here's 2 low-cost and no-cost investments that you can take on. One is to be able to look at the SOS strategy plan. It's a blueprint. It's 40 plus pages of being able to walk you through how you strategically grow specific areas of your business. Okay, how to allocate those dollars of the growth that you say that you want. So if you want to increase your business this year by $100,000, where's that $100,000 coming from? And I help you allocate out where that money's going to go so that you could say, all right, I need to work on this first quarter. These 2 are the ones I'm going to work on in first quarter. And if I can commit to getting those in action, they will help me all year long to bring in this percentage of that 100,000. Okay. Then we look at anything else. So maybe it's 5 or 6 things through the year that you're allocating out that growth with. Now, that's assuming that everything is going to remain the same. Okay. But still, on top of this, if we're saying that the industry is flat to a little below average right now, then you have to work a little bit harder as a leader in order to start making some of these actions happen. I can teach you how to do that. It's $99 to buy the entire plan, and you get 2 free sessions with me, you guys. So that's like the ultimate bargain right there. 2 free sessions. I'm going to help you establish one of your strategies and set you up for first quarter to be able to get this strategy in place and work with it. And then you'll have an opportunity to be able to ask me more questions on the second session. And of course, you can stay with me if you want to, if you need an accountability coach, because that's what I become after we put this plan in place. The second thing is join me on February 7th. It's a workshop. It's free. It's the action planning workshop. So it really ties into this blueprint. Okay, but we're going to look at it from a sequence of where do you need most of the support? Is it awareness? Is it client connection? Is it talent acquisition? You got to choose one of those 3 areas. Salons that are profitable and that are doing well and have done well even in 2025. All 3 of those they're doing simultaneously. Okay, they never stop doing those things. But we have to start somewhere. And I want you to start slow, and I want you to start where it's easy for you to be able to do that. So, buy the boat. Enjoy life. Get yourself leveled up so that you can be the leader that you need to be and the leader that your team and your clients and your community is counting on. There's nothing, you guys, there's nothing more important than for you to be a better leader, because everything from that point on, you'll understand how to be able to delegate, how to be able to find resources, how to be able to, stretch that opportunity of saying, these are the things that I am going to spend my time doing, and these are the things I'm not going to spend my time doing. I can help you find those resources and get you on board with being able to grow your business in here. Yeah. So look at one of those 3 opportunities that I presented to you. Make a commitment. I don't care if you don't make a commitment with me. Make a commitment with somebody that you're going to work with somebody to help you grow your business, because we can't do it alone anymore. There's too much between technology, between all of the hats that we're wearing as salon owners. It's too much. You need an accountability coach. You need a strategic growth coach. You need somebody to be able to do that. I want to work with you on these things, teach you enough that you can do it on your own. That's ultimately my goal, right? Because I'm going to be on the ocean boating. So I got to teach you how to do this so that you feel comfortable enough to be able to do it. And we'll work on other projects together. Or you can participate in the Ultimate Leaders Certification Program. That I'm committed to. That's the number one thing that I'm committed to for 2026. Yeah. But here's some fun things that happened with my podcast this year. I had 14% listen to 2 or more podcasts in a single day. That's great. 16% increase in my total audience, 13% in my followers. Fans listen to me longer than 51% of other Spotify podcasts out there. That's cool. My show outpaced 61% of other shows based on growth and listening, people listening. My top show was Move the Needle. So you can find that if you go to Spotify. iTunes, podcasts, all of them. I'm on all of them. Yeah. But go to that one, Move the Needle, listen to that one. I'm going to go back and listen to it too because I'm curious what that one was about. Yeah. So I got kind of like the rising star of the year, one of the most binge shows, and 2025 marathon show. So those are my fun little Spotify awards that I got this year. And I look forward to doing more of these into the new year, and also including a few more guests in it so that you can see, because I want to bring the resources to the table. I've got the resources. I want to introduce you to the resources. Okay. You're going to need them. You're going to want them. Okay. You're going to have to figure out how you're going to be able to incorporate them into your business so that you are not doing this alone. Because let me tell you, the captain is only so good by himself. Without a crew, he's not going to be as successful in taking that ship where it needs to go. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining me. Happy New Year to you. Please look at 2026 as a year that you're going to invest in you as a leader so that you can grow your business and that we don't have to be stuck in this stagnant space anymore going into 2026. All right, thanks. See you soon.